Hey guys, it's Fee with Fee's Talk Time. So I know I haven't posted episodes in a while, but I'm going to start back up because I need to get some things off my chest with y'all. But anyways, so I don't know if any of you parents wise know about the green light debit card, right? That they have for kids. Kids who get allowance and stuff like that. If you give your kids allowance, there's basically it's their card. It's a card for kids that actually teaches them some kind of money management, and you are actually able to pay them from your account, and it goes directly to their cards or whatever. Now, I think that that's a great idea because nowadays it's crazy out here, and it's crazy just to be walking around with cash sometimes with just $20 in your pocket. And I've actually, like I said a couple days ago, because I work at Rainbow now. Yay, shout out to me, right? But anyways, and it was really shocking to me that people out here that still walk around with like 100, like $300 and $400 or $500 worth of cash on them. I never would have, thought that people still do that. Well, debit cards and everything going mostly plastic like that now. But I actually think that it's better for kids. But I was reading a lot of comments under where there's a lot of parents that feel like they shouldn't have to pay their kids to do, chores around the house and stuff like that. They feel as though, okay, well, I pay all the bills here, I buy all the necessity things and essential things. What the heck do I need to be, paying my child to basically clean up after themselves and do what they're already supposed to do later in life? Now, I do give my kids actually do have chores, to be honest with you. Now, I'm not actually opposed to giving my kids allowance. They don't get it as much because they don't do the stuff that they're supposed to do that much. However, I think that it's a good way to show your kids at a younger age that, how to manage money and how, you know, just how much working for the things that they want or something that they truly, truly want. There's nothing like, I remember being a teenager and, my grandma used to give me allowance for, cleaning up her house and stuff like that for her. So when I was able to buy the things that I liked on my own, that's a good feeling as a child that, you were able to buy something that you wanted for yourself. So why not, like, if your kid is already, well mannered, they do good in school, all that type of stuff, why not? I don't see the problem with it. But in some ways I do get it, where there's parents where it's like, okay, but they feel as though you're basically making it where as though if the child don't do it, they're still getting some type of money. But no, that's not. No, you're the parent. You have control of that. If the child isn't doing what they're supposed to do, then they just don't get no money. Plain and simple. you know. But I want to know how y'all feel about that. I mean, for me, learning and knowing what I know now as an adult and stuff like that, like, I actually, I have my kids do a lot of things, that pertains to them having their own independence, because I'm an independent person, you know what I mean? My mom is, my dad is, my sister, you know what I mean? So it's only natural for me to want to make sure that my children are set, whereas though they don't need to depend on nobody. If they want to do something for themselves, they don't need to depend on somebody for them to do it for them. Or, that's just how I feel. I'm actually in the works of basically having my kid, basically for them to have their own business. Well, they do have their own business. It's more of getting it back on track for me right now. And I actually have my kids, over the summer when I started making the flavored popcorn this year, I had them, go out and start to sell it on their own because I want them to be able to start basically being able to speak the proper way when they do get a little bit more in the stage where I feel more comfortable with them actually doing, like vendors events and stuff like that. I want them to be able. I wanted to know for myself, anyways, that they're ready for that and that they're comfortable enough with, and they don't have any problems with that. My sons did beautiful. I mean, my daughter was good too, but she's on the shy side, so she's not that social. But either way, they, it made them feel really good that they earned their own money on their own. And they were up early every morning. I had made sure they had drinks in their in a cooler outside on my step. I sat outside with them. You know what I mean? And they was making, they made sales from the mailman and everything. And it got to the point where the mailman would come like every so often and he would actually ask us, do y'all have any new flavors available this week or anything like that? So for me, that was a good, proud, I had a good, proud mommy moment, It was good, they got a couple dollars off of a couple of our neighbors and things like that. I actually had took them to the park one day. They made a couple of orders there, and it was like, you also have to, it's like for me, you have to sometimes really create the boundary. You have to create the world and the vision that you see for your kids, and try to raise them up to be the best way and the best things that they could possibly be in life. And there were some people that didn't really buy anything but still gave them money on the shirt that they're out here doing something positive and they weren't afraid to walk up and say, hi, I'm selling, we have flavored popcorn for sale. Everything is naturally made and everything like that. And this is how much it costs. And we have this flavor and this flavor. Would you like to buy some? So I was proud. I was a super proud mom. But what actually bothers me though, with a lot of the comments that I saw with the green light card, it was more so that a lot of people, which is not really that shocking though, a lot of people actually missed the whole point of the card. It's not for you. It's not just for you to pay, for you to pay your kids to do chores. It's more so of the fact that it's a lot of parents out here that feel like that their children owe them something. Like, no, these kids didn't ask to be here. You brought them here. You know what I mean? And you still have to raise them in a way that, they can really, really operate properly, and not from a place where they have to heal from later on in life. My mom has an issue with a lot of the things that I make my kids do, because like I said, I make them do chores. We just, I do. So in order for them to learn how to do certain things properly, they gotta do it. They gotta learn how to do it. They're not gonna do the stuff, right the first couple of times or whatever, but there's also moments where I know for a fact that my kids know how to do some of the things that they do. They purposely do them wrong, so because they think that I'm gonna not make them do it. But I still make them do it because they gotta learn. Like when they get older and stuff like that, they're gonna be, parents one day, and they have to teach their kids, and they're going to be, husbands and, wives and stuff like that. And they have to be able to move and operate on a level that's in a partnership, not where one person feels like they're doing more than the other, or that I didn't teach or raise my son or my daughter properly, because no, we not, this ain't that. This is definitely not that. So, as I was saying, I just feel like, man, woo! It's so many unhealed people out here, boy, and it's bad, and it's so sad because they're parents and they're grandparents and they're raising kids and all this stuff, and they have a lot of. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, because obviously everybody has different ways of teaching and raising their kids and stuff like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But some things, it's like it should be like, okay, well, for me, I had to learn certain things on my own. And I did not want my children to have to learn a lot of the things that I did on my own. So I tried to prepare my children for everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. Like, I do not talk to my children like they're, like they're not like they're illiterate or anything like that. I speak real with them, on a different level. So our children are very articulate. They're very smart. They're very aware, because I made them that way. Me and my sister, we make them that way. We have open conversations with my kids, because myself, I had a hard time, communicating and expressing myself and my feelings and my emotions and things that are that used to bother me. Now, I'm 30 years old, but now I communicate a lot more and way more, where a lot of people don't like it. That I really actually speak my mind and I speak how I feel. And if that bothers you, then you just don't need to be around me, or I can distance myself, or you can, reflect from what I said, but that's my truth, so it happens, and like I'm teaching my kids that not everybody's for you, not everybody's gonna like you, not everybody's gonna, understand you, and that's okay. There's people that's gonna maybe make fun of you because you're different. Because, you do different, you do things differently than them. Like my sons, they had mohawks. And they said that a few kids actually, bullied them about it. And I had to sit them both down and I said, but that's what y'all asked for, right? And they said yes. And I said, you like them, right? And they both said yes, because that was what they wanted. And I said, but that's all that matters, is that you wanted it and that you are confident in what you wanted. Don't ever let anyone else's feelings or thoughts or anything like that towards you make you feel feel upset with yourself, or make you feel like you made the wrong choice. If that's what you wanted, you stand on that. A lot of people are scared of different. They're, if not everybody is used, not everybody raises their kids whereas though they can be open and have their own open minds and stuff like that. So it's different. So I want to hear you guys, your thoughts.